Hi, students. The next story that we're going to read in Study Sync is called Monster, and it's an excerpt of a play. So it's not a short story, and it's a little different than the other stories we've read so far. And it deals with our criminal justice system, racial profiling, and innocence versus guilt. So I just want to get us thinking about some realities in our justice system. You've got a Google form to work on today, and I'm going to go through and just point out how to address this and where to put your responses, what to look at and listen to, etc. So obviously your name here, please. And then here is an infographic. You are going to respond here and say, why is the above statistic troubling? What do you notice in that? It's an open-ended question. There are many possible answers for most of these questions. I'm just really interested in seeing what you pick out as troubling. Again, these are some statistics, findings from an organization called the Sentencing Project. Please look at these key findings. And then here, in your opinion, which fact is the most troubling to you and why? Finish up that question with the why to explain whichever one you choose as being the most troubling or disturbing to you. This is another infographic. Take a minute and look at it. What is one shocking statistic from the infographic above? There are many shocking statistics. What's one? Maybe the one that just speaks to you. Here is a quote by Van Jones from a documentary called 13th, which I highly, highly recommend. His quote here, the opposite of criminalization is humanization. What do you think that means? So your answer here. And then finally, we are going to end it with a fantastic TED Talk. It's by a man I admire highly called Brian Stevenson. He works on justice and reforming our criminal justice system and mass incarceration. So he has a 25-minute TED Talk here called We Need to Talk About an Injustice. I cannot underestimate how this TED Talk might change your entire way of thinking about what is right and wrong in our justice system. So please, 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 of all the assignments, I really, really want you to watch this just to grow as a human being. He's an amazing man. And there are so many takeaways here, but here I'd like you to tell us, or me, 3 things you learned, 2 things that shock you, and 1 question you have. When you're done, submit it. I really am interested in seeing your responses, what speaks to you, what shocks you, what intrigues you about all of these different texts that we're going to be looking at. And this will kind of get you thinking in a good way about the topics we're going to see in our play, a short little play that we're going to start the next day called Monster.